Good day. Welcome to News Now on TV360. I am Thelma Okuru. A court in Lagos State has ordered the final forfeiture of 13 billion naira found in an apartment in Ikoyi, Lagos, southwest Nigeria. The money was discovered in April this year by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission following a tip-off by a whistleblower. It has since generated much controversy over who truly owns the money. The Rivers State government as well as the National Intelligence Agency say the money belongs to them, although no one has provided proof of ownership. As part of efforts to support the fight against corruption, top officials of Nigeria's security agencies have held a meeting in Abuja. At the meeting, effective communication between law enforcement agents and the Nigerian public was identified as a way out of corruption in the country. The meeting also held a spotlight on how timely and relevant information can curb corruption here in Nigeria.
If public confidence is increased between citizens and criminal justice actors, such as the Nigerian Police Force and the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, through specialized training sessions tailored to promote accountability and transparency, and if a system that operates zero tolerance for corruption and open communication is actively pursued in Nigeria's law enforcement institutions, then we argue that there will be a reduction in the potentials to partake in corruption, and Nigeria's economic development will be significantly improved.
The goal of this project is to strengthen relations between criminal justice actors, anti-graft agencies, and citizens through improved and effective communications. This pilot project will focus on supporting the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission and Nigeria Police Force to provide timely and relevant information to the public on their efforts to fight crime and corruption. Over the past year, the U.S. Embassy has been working closely with civil society, the Nigeria Police Force, and the EFCC on various initiatives to enhance government transparency, improve security, and investigate and prosecute complex financial crimes. This project supports those efforts by enhancing communication with the public and building trust with law enforcement organizations.
I know that the government needs to be very transparent and to be accountable to its action for the generality of the public. I understand that in order to fight corruption, in order to ensure justice, I know that we need also the confidence and trust of members of the public. If there's trust and if we're accountable to our action, a lot of these vices and challenges that we have would have gone. That we may fashion our programs that must also meet the requirement of the population, because government exists for the well-being of each citizen. The citizen also have some civic responsibility to the government to be able to achieve its objectives.
Nigeria's unemployment rate has worsened, rising to 14.2% in the first quarter of 2017. This represents a 0.4% increase from the last quarter, according to the data released by the National Bureau of Statistics. The unemployment figure rose to 11.55 million from 11.09 million in the last quarter of 2016. The country has been struggling with a recession since September last year, leading to several job losses. Nigeria's acting president Yemi Osinbajo has written to the National Assembly seeking approval of a fresh loan. In his letter, Osinbajo is asking the legislature to approve the government's request to borrow 1.5 billion naira from external sources. The loan is part of the 2016 till 2018 external borrowing plan recognized by the government. It will be disbursed to 12 states, namely Kaduna, Ogun, Ebonyi, Abia, Katsina, Jigawa, Kano, Enugu, Plateau, as well as Ondo State. A federal high court sitting in Abuja has fixed July 4th for ruling on a no-case submission filed by Senator Ali Ndume. Ndume is being accused of sponsoring Boko Haram terrorists by the federal government, an accusation he has since denied. He represents Borno South in the National Assembly. The presiding judge in the case is Justice Gabriel Kolawole.
The best I can tell you is that we've took the application for the no-case submission on the basis that so far the evidence laid on behalf of the prosecution is not sufficient to call upon the defendant to lead evidence in defense of the charge. That's the summary of it. The matter has been adjourned to the 4th of July. I think we better give the opportunity to the court to make a decision on that point before we can say any other further.
Aisha Buhari, the wife of Nigeria's President Muhammad Buhari, says he is recuperating really fast. She returned from the United Kingdom on Tuesday, where she went to visit the president. He has been in London since last month for medical treatment. His absence in the country has deepened suspicions among many Nigerians that his health is worse than officials are admitting publicly. A committee in the House of Representatives says it has discovered $15 billion was unremitted to the Federation account. The lawmakers are probing the missing $17 billion crude oil and liquefied natural gas revenue. The sum said to be diverted was contained in 2 reports submitted to the committee by the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC. The lawmakers have asked the CBN and the NNPC to submit the audited report of the oil and gas account showing the remitted funds into the Federation account between 2011 till 2014. In a move to promote diplomatic ties, the Indonesian government says Nigeria remains top priority on its foreign policy list. The country's foreign affairs minister paid a visit to Nigeria's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Geoffrey Onyema, in Abuja. At the meeting, Nigeria's minister agreed that the visit will be of immense economic benefits to both countries. It's the first visit by an Indonesian minister to Nigeria in the last 30 years.
We really welcome your visit in this context because it's going to hopefully kickstart a new level of cooperation. We hope that our principals, our presidents will be able in the not too distant future to visit each other's countries to really solidify this relationship that we are developing. We have experiences, some security challenges, which have become global challenges of terrorism, and that we both confront, although the levels and scales might be a bit different. And of course, you as a major oil and gas producer have also been facing the same challenges that we have been, a drop in price of those commodities, and the challenge of diversifying our economies.
In Indonesian foreign policy, we put Africa as our priority. And of course, when we talk about Africa, Nigeria will be the main part of it. So Nigeria will become the priority of Indonesian foreign policy. One message that Indonesia brings to the business forum and to my visit here in Abuja is that Indonesia is your friend and Indonesia is your reliable business partner.
Nigeria's Chief of Army Staff Tukur Buratai has ordered a probe into the alleged sexual abuse of female internally displaced persons by soldiers in the camp. The women say some soldiers and members of the Civilian Joint Task Force, which is a local vigilante group there in the northeast part of the country, are demanding sex from them in exchange for favors. Buratai has now ordered a probe into the allegations and pledged to sanction any erring official. A coalition of civil society groups in Nigeria is condemning the concession of Port Harcourt refinery to oil firms Ajib and Owando. In a press briefing held in Lagos, Chairman of CACO, Debo Onat Adeniro, says the deal between the federal government and the oil firms was unlawful, morally bankrupt and detrimental to the Nigerian economy. He says the concession followed no due process and must be stopped.
What we are about to witness is the brazen direct handover of a national asset like the Port Harcourt refinery to private concerns without advertisement, without competitive bidding, and in gross violation of the law. This is nothing but an economic crime committed by a government against its own people. We make bold to say that the strict compliance with the laws cannot be sacrificed for some subjective patriotic motives. If we do not hear a reversal of the process or an outright cancellation of this fraud within 48 hours, we shall proceed to court to stop the transaction. We have already briefed our lawyers, Mr. Festus Keyamo. For whatever is worth, we shall also proceed to the Senate committee to defend our position. C, we are also prepared to mobilize Nigerians for street protests if the federal government decides to proceed with this fraudulent transaction without our approval.
The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) will on Wednesday disclose its decision on political associations seeking to be registered as political parties here in Nigeria. Chairman of the Commission, Mahmood Yakubu, disclosed this in an interview with journalists at an ongoing workshop to review INEC's communication policy in Abuja. Mahmood's disclosure comes a day after some politicians floated a new party in the country. The name of the party is Advanced People's Democratic Alliance, ABDA, while the party's slogan is Stronger Together. A surprise member of Nigeria's newest party, ABDA, is media mogul Raymond Dokwesi. Dokwesi was a prominent member of Nigeria's former ruling party, the People's Democratic Party.
My dear compatriots, for the avoidance of doubt, the APDA represents a fresh opportunity on our whole new platform for a new generation of committed and capable leaders, poised to redirect our collective mandate, economic stagnation, leadership failure, and betrayal of the popular will and aspiration of the masses. We have identified the decadent culture of past party politics, the seat-tight arrogance, despotism, and looting propensity of our politicians, resulting in marginalization of the masses of the country from the democratic process as the major cause of the constant reversal and negation of the popular will and aspiration for a Nigerian that reflect their dreams and promised land. For this reason, our party is loaded with specific remedies and preventive measures to sanitize our political culture, make our leader accountable, and above all, restore the decisive might of the people over the dynamics of the party politics and governance.
There is no doubt that most Nigerians are dissatisfied with lack of discipline and near absence of internal party democracy that characterize most of the political parties in existence today. We are determined to present to Nigeria a political party that will be highly disciplined, provide the level playing field to all its members, remove every trace of godfatherism, and restore the dignity and supremacy of the political party in the affairs of its members and for the benefit of its members.
Hello? Yeah, I found your wallet in front of a supermarket. Meet me at Apple Junction. Yes, I'll be waiting for you.
Now we find out. Two of us.
Thank you very much, officer.
You know, it's surprising that men like you still exist in the police force.
So... Oh, yes.
This is just a token of my appreciation.
Oh, no, you don't need to do this. We are only doing our job.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
You're welcome.
Now I know police is really my friend.
Yes.
Friend. Hey.
Okay, which game was with this one? I don't understand. You know your problem. You are greedy. I'm a policeman who is doing his job. All forms of corruption in the force, not in my country.
Corruption not in my country.
Welcome back. Let's turn our attention to business stories now. The Central Bank of Nigeria has relaxed the foreign exchange market by unveiling fresh regulations for a more open market. A circular issued by the CBN says it now allows authorized dealers to sell their excess foreign currency to other authorized dealers without seeking prior approval from the CBN. The bank allows a maximum spread of ₦1 on such transactions, effective immediately. The Apex Bank has also injected another sum of $190 million into the interbank market. The bank offered the sum of $100 million as wholesale interventions and allocated the sum of $50 million to the small and medium enterprises forex window. The Naira continued to maintain its strong stand against major currencies around the globe, exchanging for $3.64 per dollar in the BDC segment of the market. South Africa's economy fell into recession for the first time since 2009 after it contracted for a second straight quarter. The gross domestic product fell 0.7% in the first quarter compared to a contraction of 0.3% in the previous 3 months. President Jacob Zuma changed his cabinet and fired ex-finance minister Pravin Gordhan 2 months ago after the nation lost its investment-grade status for the first time in 17 years. The death toll in last week's bomb blast in Afghanistan has risen to 150. The attack in Kabul was the deadliest by insurgents in Afghanistan since the Taliban were driven from power by US-led forces in 2001. It sparked anti-government protests in which 4 people were killed as police used tear gas and fired bullets into the air to keep the crowds at bay. The third London Bridge attacker has been named as 22-year-old Youssef Zagba, a Moroccan-Italian man. Pakistan-born Quram Bot, who is 27, and Rachid Raudowen, who is 30, both from Barking, were the other 2 attackers. Meanwhile, another victim has been named as Australian nurse Kirsty Borden, a 28-year-old woman, who her family said had run towards London Bridge to help people. 7 people were killed and 48 injured in the weekend's attack. Nigeria Super Eagles moved their training camp to Uyo, capital of Akwa Ibom, to continue preparations for their opening 2019 African Cup of Nations qualifier. Now the national team arrived at Uyo's venue for their clash against South Africa on Saturday. The game will be played at the Godswill Akpabio International Stadium. Other teams in the group are Libya and Seychelles. More on sports stories now. Anthony Joshua's promoter has hinted that his heavyweight title rematch against Vladimir Klitschko may take place in Lagos. Eddie Hearn says details of the rematch are still being finalized and admitted he is still considering other venues for the game. He also hinted that Klitschko has given his approval for the match, though talks between both parties are still ongoing. Real Madrid's historic Champions League win has lifted the club to the top of the European clubs ranking. The Spanish champions defeated Italian champions Juventus 4-1 to reclaim the European title for the first time in the Champions League era. The last side to retain the trophy was AC Milan in 1990. Finalist Juventus overtook Paris Saint-Germain to enter the top 5, while Atletico Madrid and Bayern Munich remained 4th and 3rd place respectively. Well, that's all we have on news now. Thank you very much for watching. I am Thelma Okoro.